No one left behind is more than a standard we all live up to. It is a way of life. It is part of our mission. If you or someone you know finds themselves struggling with their mental health, please contact the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988 on your mobile phone or text 838-255 to speak or chat with a qualified counselor. Hello, friends. How are y'all doing today? I'm excited about this episode.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome home. Here we are.
Welcome to the Run for the Wall podcast. I'm Hitch, as always. I am joined with Boots. And then our special.
Today, I'm going to interrupt you because I always mention Horton on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think every episode I've mentioned Horton. Well, before he was Horton, it was FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But now I don't have to mention him because he can mention himself. Welcome, Todd.
Hi, how are y'all doing this morning?
We're doing
great.
Wherever you're all
awesome.
at.
It's morning here, but see, coffee.
Well, it's 11:59, so technically it's still morning, right?
That's right.
It's not afternoon. So, yeah. Well, we're in the same time zone, actually. So,
Us East Coasters got to stick together, don't we?
High five. Look, I apologize in advance because, the three of us, we are like family for sure. Ever since my F&G year, the three of us have been stuck like glue.
Now, my wife, Kelly, warned me about this. She said, now don't the three of you just start, doing the good old boys club and reminiscing about inside jokes that nobody's going to get.
Listen, that is why I am apologizing up front before we even get this started. But just know that it is all love and we're really excited about this episode. But if this is your first time tuning into the podcast, you were in for a treat, A. But B, here at Run for the Wall, we are the largest, longest, and oldest cross-country motorcycle run. And Boots and I coming together to do this podcast is us just doing our part in, carrying on the mission of promoting healing among all and raising awareness for those who are POWs, KIA, and MIA.
Yeah, absolutely. And first and foremost, the run it really is about that awareness. It's about honoring our veterans and it's about healing. We got a lot of veterans coming on the run who are dealing with wounds that you just can't see. And that's become a really big part of our mission. And we've got chaplain corps that ride with us and a lot of people who have been through that and know what you're dealing with. And if you ride a motorcycle and you're a veteran and you're thinking about kind of getting back in touch with some of your brothers and sisters, come ride with us on Run for the Wall. It really will be a life-changing event.
And if you aren't a veteran, if you're a family member like Boots or just a patriot, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, hey, come on out. We'd love to have you join us.
Yeah, it's not just for veterans.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we are going to try our hardest to stick to our format. I promise we will.
We'll try.
We'll at least start out. We will start out sticking to the format.
Woo.
But let's shoot for the sponsors.
Yeah, let me thank our sponsors because without them, we couldn't do Run for the Wall. As always, Chad Fuller at Fuller Law. These guys are outstanding. 1-855-FULLERLAW. That's Fuller Law. Or check them out on the internet, Fuller Law for Riders. I also want to mention, as always, the Greater Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau. The 3 coast-to-coast routes start in Ontario. And the whole city there is just so accommodating, and we couldn't thank them enough. We also have hydration sponsors that provide hydration products. sodas, energy drinks, electrolyte, water, and that the majority of it comes from Pepsi. And we also get some product from Coca-Cola. So thank you to Pepsi and Coke. And if there's someone I didn't mention, thank you also. We've got a few industry product sponsors. AMSOIL, they provide synthetic motor oil for just about anything that you have, a lawnmower, a generator, a motorcycle, a car. The stuff's great. I use it in everything. So we've got an AMSOIL banner on the Run for the Wall website, as well as a banner for Climb riding gear, premium riding gear. They have a sponsorship opportunity. If you click on the banner on the Run for the Wall homepage, it'll tell you how to qualify for that. And also right next to them, Nelson Rig. They make all kinds of bags and gear and everything. Really great stuff. There's a 25% discount and a coupon code for Run for the Wall riders. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Couldn't do it without you. And if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, give us a shout and we'll hook you up.
Awesome. All right, countdown to the run. You already know that registration will open. Well, maybe you don't know. Registration always opens September 11th at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are 270 days from Kickstands Up, and that is as of us recording today, which is Friday,
Red
August
shirt.
21st. Yeah, I wanted to rock my FIFA jersey, so I'm kind of red, white, and blue right now with the the USA. Can't really see it right there.
That's good.
With the USA, but that's how I was feeling today. I had on a red shirt and I said, you know what?
No, I like it. I like it. It's very patriotic.
This exactly. But yes, so 270 days to Kickstands Up. Registration will go live just here in a couple of weeks, you all.
That's right.
We are a couple of weeks away from registration on September 11th. Now, all of the coast-to-coast routes are going to depart Ontario, California on Wednesday, May 19th. And our sandbox route will depart Sunday, May 30th from DC area, which is DC area.
Yeah, Springfield, but whatever.
Yeah.
And if you're riding on any of those routes and you want to volunteer, we've got volunteer sign-up forms on the website, and there's plenty of positions open in staging and fuel team, merchandise drivers, platoon leaders, assistant platoon leaders, tail gunners, just about everything. So fill out one of those volunteer sign-up forms and let us know that you're interested in being part of the leadership here at the Run for the Wall.
Let's see.
Merchandise. You want to talk about merchandise?
Merchandise. Buy it. It's awesome. No, I do want to say Den Mother works really hard on
she does.
On developing our merchandise, just the merch program overall, as well as the creativity that goes into the designs for like the route shirts. Because this year, all new designs. I love rocking mine. I got a Central and a Midway shirt last year. I guess, I'm going on Southern this year, so I'll have to get all three and represent that way. But the store is open. Merchandise proceeds, a lot of that goes towards, helping us with Run for the Wall. So by all means, jump in there, see what you like, get pins and poker chips, things like that to hand out.
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Along the way.
I just clicked into it, and they have a long sleeve red shirt that I think I'm going to get. And it's on sale too. It's only $15. That's pretty awesome. Oh, it's a performance shirt too. Huh.
Yeah. And she's really been, taking to heart the AARs that have been coming in, all of the feedback that's been coming in about what you all want out of the merchandise. Like, take a look, because she is making some changes that she brought to the board meeting back in July. Like, hey, the people have spoken. I heard them, shirts with the little thumb hole in the sleeve, so that when you put your jackets and stuff on, your shirt doesn't disappear up to your elbow, stuff like that. Horton's laughing. But yeah, so check out the The merch store.
Then we got a couple of events that I want to mention real quick here. And I want to be quick so that, oh, sorry, I got a text message. I want to be real quick here because I want to get to Todd, but we got the 2026 Texas Riders Reunion coming up. That's September 25th through 27th in Kerrville, Texas. If you want to participate in that, it's go on Facebook and look up the Texas Riders Reunion, and you can download the PDF registration form. And also, we've got the Angel Fire Reunion coming up in just a couple weeks on September 3rd through 6th at Angel Fire, New Mexico. And we're going to be laying bricks at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. You can register. Well, the online registration is done, but if you do want to go, call Todd. And Todd,
I've already had 2 emails this morning.
Okay,
nice.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Call or email Todd and he'll get you hooked up. So then we got, this was emailed into me and I put it on the Run for the Wall events calendar, which is on the Run for the Wall website. You can check that out at rftw.us/events. The second annual Cruisin' for Champions motorcycle ride. This is being put on by I think it's pronounced Chatham County Sheriff's Office. Is putting this whole thing on. It's Saturday, September 26th at White Oak Beach at Jordan Lake, with all the proceeds benefiting the Special Olympics of North Carolina. It's $30 donations plus $10 for passenger, breakfast and lunch included. More info at chathamsheriff.com. So you can check that out on the Run for the Wall events calendar or just look it up. Second annual Cruisin' for Champions motorcycle ride. Right on. And then we got some local meetups. Gosh, they're in all kinds of states. Again, Arizona, Colorado, Mississippi, Northern California, Washington, D.C. I think there's one in Southern California now, too. I know there's a lot of Run for the Wall riders out there. But anyways, you can access information for that on our forum or on the Run for the Wall website events calendar.
Do you all have one out there in West Virginia?
No. I think the closest one, I think Northern Virginia.
Okay,
I think that's
so
the closest one to us. Yeah.
So that's the DC area one. Yeah. Alrighty, that brings us to this episode's Why We Ride.
Yeah.
Well, I know you have one. I'm not going to say do you have one.
Todd supplied me with this. Todd, do you want to read it or you want me to read it?
Oh, I'll read it. It'd be fine. You can put it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put up his picture.
Okay, well, you read it then because you got the text.
Yeah, I got it right in front of me. Okay,
gotcha.
We should have organized that a little better. Sorry.
That's all right.
Today we remember Benjamin Tiffner of the United States Army. Ben dreamed of becoming a military officer from a young age. In 1996, U.S. Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia nominated him for admission into the United States Military Academy at West Point. After graduating from West Point in the year 2000, Benjamin completed the Infantry Officer Basic Course, Airborne School, and Ranger School. He was then assigned to the 1st Battalion, 23rd Infantry Regiment at Fort Lewis, Washington, where he served as an infantry platoon leader, reconnaissance platoon leader, and company executive officer. Benjamin first served in Iraq from November 2003 to March 2004. He later returned in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom as a member of the Combined Joint Special Operations Task Force, Arabian Peninsula, making his second deployment to Iraq in support of the global war on terrorism. On November 7th, 2007, Captain Benjamin Tiffner, 31, was killed in action when his vehicle encountered an improvised explosive device during a ground convoy in Baghdad. At the time, he was serving as a Special Forces Operational Detachment Alpha Team Leader assigned to Company C, 1st Battalion, 5th Special Forces Group, Airborne. His awards and decorations include 2 Army Commendation Medals, the Army Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Combat Infantryman Badge, Expert Infantryman Badge, Parachutist Badge, Ranger Tab, and Special Forces Tab. This was an accomplished young man. Benjamin is survived by his parents, Timothy and Judith Tiffner of Soldotna, Alaska. It is not the worst thing to die in war. It is not the worst thing to be missing in war. The worst thing is to be forgotten in war. Say their names, tell their stories, never forget. Benjamin Tiffner, on behalf of a grateful nation, we thank you for your service. I didn't mention that his name can be found also on the Middle East Conflicts Memorial Wall in Marseilles, Illinois, on panel 4, row 55. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you to his family and his loved ones. Todd, you have something to say about Ben?
Yeah, we went to high school together. We played soccer together. And,
wow.
We lost track of each other after high school. He was a year behind us, but it was hard. It's for someone you go to school with, you play sports with, especially, you develop that bond. And the first time I visited the Middle Eastern Conflicts Wall, the first year I did sandbox, I got a rubbing of his name and sent it off to his family. So it was a pretty good experience. So thanks for reading that, Ted.
I'm gonna have this laminated, and he's riding with us to the wall this year.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Right on. Absolutely.
Thank you, Horton, for sharing his story with us, because it definitely means a lot. And I mean, I honestly, we were able to pull bios from several different sources, but it really means a lot when people who are on the podcast with us share those personal stories. And I know it's not easy, because it took me into season 2 before I shared one of someone that I knew. So, and it's not the only one, unfortunately, but all right. Customs and traditions. We're going to talk about the Writer Code of Conduct.
That's right. Did you even know there was a Writer Code of Conduct?
Yes, because I've read it. Horton would be like, no, of what?
No.
What is this? Where did this come from?
The guy who runs the
Writer
website.
Code of Conduct. It is a serious thing. In fact, everybody who has registered for Run for the Wall for the last 5 years, 6 years, has to check a box before you click register that says, I have read and agree to the Writer Code of Conduct.
Yeah, I was going to say, the guy who runs the website has it up there.
Yeah, that's that guy. Right. But we know, because, we know people. I've met people. You've met people, right? Most people check that box and never even take a look at the Writer Code of Conduct. But it exists. And I'm going to share my screen for a second, just for the heck of it, because I can, right? It's technology here. It's right on the Run for the Wall website at rftw.us/writer-code-of-conduct. And it's also under the Roots menu. And there's a little thing there that says Writer Code of Conduct. I'm pointing at it if you're looking on it on YouTube. But anyways, this Writer Code of Conduct, it's not to squash fun. It's not anything like that. It's really to protect our writers and make sure that everybody has a good experience on Run for the Wall. It's really important to read. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to read the first rule. The number 1 rule of the Run for the Wall is no attitudes. Check it at the door. Leave it at home. Pack it in your tour pack. We're all here. We're all part of the same mission. And so there's no attitudes. But the Writer Code of Conduct is really good. And it tells a lot of stuff, if you haven't read it, about what's expected. What are the expectations?
Mm-hmm.
Some questions, like I get emailed questions all the time. One of the most common questions I get emailed is, hey, I'm licensed to carry a firearm. Can I carry it on Run for the Wall? Well, absolutely. You can, as long as you have an appropriate license. We do go through some states that are a little bit iffy, depending on which route you're on. But the thing that Run for the Wall says is that there's no open carry. That's our rule. So you don't carry it in the open, carry it concealed. And remember, concealed is concealed. That means nobody should ever know that you're carrying a firearm. So, I mean, and there's that question. So I've probably answered that for a few people out there. But there's lots of other good things in here. It's worth giving it a read. Check it out. That's the Writer Code of Conduct.
And when in doubt, I will just say, govern yourself or selves by the golden rule. treat others the way you want to be treated.
Always. And remember, especially, I read a lot of them. I read every single AAR that came in this year. And I can tell you this, that sometimes people get into leadership and they've done the run for 17 times or whatever, and they forget what it was like to be an FNG. We can't forget that. We can't forget, because I remember very clearly my FNG year, deer in headlights. I'm like, what the hell did I get myself involved in here? And there are so many things I didn't know, military tradition, and everybody's saluting, and I didn't know. Do I salute? Hell, no, I don't. I put my hand over my heart because I never served in the military. I didn't understand all those things, but we got to remember that there's a lot of FNGs who are like I was. I didn't grow up in a military family, even though my dad is an Air Force veteran. He was out of the Air Force before I was ever born. So I didn't have that tradition growing up, and I didn't understand a lot of those things. And it's important to understand. So remember that. If you've been on the run a lot, remember FNGs, they need to just some gentle reminders and guidance, and always take that gentle approach instead of dressing someone down, because that's never good.
Yeah. All right. Now we can jump head first into getting to know Horton. Yay! So again, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the podcast with us. Although your sidekick, just sent us well wishes, like, hey, tell the guys I said hey.
I'm sure he'll make an appearance in a little bit. I'm sure he'll stop by and say hi.
I hope so.
I really hope so.
Before he gets a text message from me, I should text him. Y'all get to talk.
Just so everyone knows, we're talking about Todd's son, Steven. And Steven is now 21 years old, right?
Yeah.
And he's been coming on the run since he was about 11.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of grown up with Run for the Wall. And he rides on the back of Todd's bike.
He's a route kid.
Listen, I really feel sick to my stomach now after you said he was 21. I feel so sick.
I know.
Oh, because I think he was like, 14, 15 or something like that when I met him.
Yeah.
And then, I ran into him, was it last year's run? And he's like, I have a girlfriend. I'm like, oh, dear God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not ready. I was like, I can't. I'm over here in tears. But okay.
He's at that age.
I know. Let's jump into this. Okay, tell the people. I know they hear us talk about you all the time, but introduce yourself. What is your name? And where are you from?
So my name is Todd Taylor. I originally started this process as FaceTime. That was given to me by Hoofer back in 2017 or 16 on my FNG year. No, 17, the year after my FNG year. Because every stop, the little thing he had was Hoofer's Hooligans, which he led a group from Texas to California. And every stop I would be on FaceTime with Steven and Robin, my wife. So
when I met you, you were on FaceTime with Steven and Robin.
Exactly. So. We were at the Williams the Williams dinner stop, and it was every stop I had to FaceTime them. So that's how that come about. And then last year it all got changed. I know, I'm not either.
I like
then I do too, but I don't have any control over it. So, and then last year I was the assistant route coordinator under Jim McDonough, who? And it kind of got changed, Horton and who. So it kind of stuck after that. But there's a lot of people upset about the Horton, but I said I can't control it. But I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. Well, actually, a little town outside of Charleston called Mount Carbon. We live up here on the river. It's a beautiful little area on the canal. Thank you for saying it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Canal.
Kanawha. That's how you can tell when people don't know where you're really from, because they don't know how to say it. So that's okay. But I've been in West Virginia my whole life. I got my wife Robin. We've been married almost 25 years next year. So like I said, Steven's 21, and this is what we do every year, and it basically consumes our life. I think what people fail to realize is, when we go kick stands down in DC, we're already starting to plan for next year. It's a 365-day thing for the people in the leadership positions. Just the sheer amount of hours that we devote to this cause is it's kind of mind-boggling. We have a program at work where we track our volunteer hours, just to encourage volunteerism. And I lost track after like 400 hours last year. I just quit logging them because it's just too much time to go in and log. So, but like I said, it's a labor of love. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So that's me in a nutshell.
It's kind of funny that you said that because, I'm fixing to go off the board of directors here in 2 weeks. These are my final 2 weeks on the board, and it's really slowed down for me, and I almost miss it. Like, gosh,
yeah.
It's like, it's weird.
We devote our lives to this. It's amazing, but that's why we do it.
And then you both ditched me. Hey, Ty, come on over. The grass is green, the water's warm. And then Horton gets ARC and leaves the board.
Told me
and then
in DC
got ARC and left me on the board.
Ty, you told me in DC when my daughter Chloe came out and we were hanging out, you said you wanted to be more involved in Run for the Wall. Did you not?
Yeah. And I love it.
So careful what you wish for.
I know. Yeah, but I meant for us to be together.
Yeah.
We're still together though. Look at us.
Yeah, exactly. And you're off on the Midway route and the Southern route and everything. And
now I have to squeeze Sandbox in. Okay, Horton, who introduced you to Run for the Wall?
So I actually introduced myself to it. In West Virginia, the Central Route, they come through here every year. And it was every year I would go find a bridge somewhere and watch the route come underneath, just showing my support. And then I said, I might want to try to do this one time. So I initially signed up for the Southern Route. That was my FNG year, was on the Southern Route. I went to Whitful, their last stop, and just did the last day with them. And so that's how I got started. And then in 2016, we had a pretty severe catastrophic flood that basically wiped out Raynell.
Yep.
And which is one of the stops of the Central. This is one of the main stops is the Central Route, visiting the school kids there. And I heard that the Central Route was coming together and raising money and funds and donations and all this stuff for the kids there. It was in October. And I said, well, I might as well go see about it. And I got a hold of Jenny Ward. Mm-hmm. She was kind of ringleading the whole thing. And then I met them down in Hurricane. They come there for the night, and then they rode up to Raynell the next day, and we delivered all sorts of coats, clothes, bedding materials, anything and everything. And there was about 40 or 50 of us that rode up there, typical Run for the Wall fashion, up through the twisty mountains of West Virginia.
Yeah.
And we come rolling in just like we do in May. And all the kids were there, and there's a lot of families there. And I think there was even a tractor and trailer load of supplies that the Navajo Nations, where we go, they donated bedding, pillows, stuff like that. And so that's how I got introduced to the Central Route, and I've been on the Central Route ever since.
I hadn't realized that just 2 years before my FNG year that area had been flooded. So that just really goes to show the amount of support that gets poured into such a small community. Right?
Yeah.
But I think you're only the second person we've had on the podcast who was sort of self-introduced to the run. And I'm really curious to know, with you living in West Virginia, the run goes through there, and that's Central. What made you decide to do Southern Road?
Well, I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, why do I want to ride the same roads that I do all the time? So I just wanted something different. And I realized that Southern, they overnight in Whitful. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, that's only about an hour and a half away, so I could just go do that. Okay. And then that's when I went and joined them for day 10, and we got to visit the World War II Memorial, and it's it was a good time.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to break from all our standard questions, and I just got to ask you: did you run this morning? Did you go for a run?
Not yet. It's right after this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're into distance running now, right?
Yeah.
And
for some reason, I'm
I was going
October
to say
10th.
you have a race coming up where you
tell us about
you're going to get
October
like
10th race. Yeah.
He's up to win $50,000. 50K, right? That was whoever put
That's
that
not
comment,
what 50K means. No,
that was Dan Gilman. That was Dan Gilman. You can thank him for that one.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard.
So I made the post on Facebook. It was about 2 months ago, and in October 9th, I'm turning 50 years old, and I said, you know what? Let's just see if I can do a 50K. So that's the October 10th. So I put that out there, and Dan come up in the comments and said, "You do realize that's not the prize money, right?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, really?" But yeah, I started running last year. Just I don't know. I used to do it back in high school. Played soccer and just got out of it and got lazy. Then we had I call it a midlife crisis. Yeah, so.
This is your midlife crisis, going distance running, long distance running?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
He said sure.
Yeah.
So now, were you doing any distance running back in 2017 when we met?
Absolutely not.
You weren't?
No.
Well,
I was lucky enough to walk 30 feet without being out of breath.
So what? Tell us about this journey, because this I think this is really interesting and very inspirational. And for those of you who think, "Oh, I'm being mean," I'm not being mean. I asked Todd beforehand if we could talk about his weight loss journey, because it's absolutely freaking amazing. Todd, why don't you tell us about it? And I'm going to pop a picture up on the screen as you're talking.
Oh boy, here we go.
So
in 2020, I made the life-changing decision to have weight loss surgery. I was 347 pounds and absolutely miserable.
Okay, hold the phone right there, because I'm going to pop the picture up right now. Okay. You said 300 and how much?
347. That was 347.
There's Todd. And there's me next to Todd back in 2018.
Yeah, that was my F&G year right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us what you did.
I got sick. If anybody hears Dave Ramsey, the financial counselor, he said when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you make crazy decisions, life altering decisions.
Yep.
So I started exploring the weight loss surgery options, and it took about a year to get pre-approved and everything. You have to go through counseling, you have to go through all of these tests and everything just to make sure that mentally you are prepared for what's about ready to happen to you. Mm-hmm. And we made a decision to go ahead and do the gastric sleeve, which is, there was two main ones back then, gastric sleeve and gastric bypass. And I took the gastric sleeve option, and the only thing that was concerning was, there is an 80 to 85% failure rate with that surgery. So I don't know if you want to get all the gory details, but what they do is they go in there, they remove about 85% of your stomach.
Wow.
So you're basically left with just a little sleeve. Well, over the course of time, if you don't change your eating habits and if you don't pay attention, you could stretch it back out and go back to the way it is. So that's one of the things where you have to go to counseling and all this stuff. And I tell everybody every day, it was an addiction. Food was an addiction for me. And it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life because I love food. And it's every day, you have this wonderful meal prepared. We talk about meals on the run and everything. And, what's my favorite meal on the run and all this stuff. Anything with food, if it tastes great, I'm going to eat it.
Right.
But like we go to Winsville and we have that awesome steak dinner that's provided for us. They give us this big 18-ounce steak sitting in front of you, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. and I eat 3 bites and I'm done. And
He
I'm
does,
like,
literally. I don't know how you
So-
do that. I ate the
so
whole damn steak.
That's why Ted sits next to me, because I just give him whatever I have left over.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's a mental struggle every day, and I think that's why I kind of, they always worry about, they call transfer addiction. You're addicted to something for so long, you're going to. A lot of the people that have this surgery, they get, they start drinking, they start doing all the bad stuff, or just any type of addictive type of thing, and you got to be careful with that, and it's a serious mind trip. It's crazy what your mind can. You can eat that. You can eat that. It's not for it. You can have just a little bit more. It's not going to hurt you. But I think that's kind of why I started running. It's not for the exercise. I mean, right now I weigh 175 pounds right now, and I've been that weight for 6 years. I just got August 20th was my 6-year anniversary of that surgery.
Congratulations!
And
That was yesterday.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I didn't even pay attention to it. I don't even know what day of the week it is. I work shift work, so I'm in a constant state of flux. It's either day shift or night shift to me. I just my reminders. I set reminders on my phone when to pay the bills, so I don't even know what day of the week it is. So
It's Friday.
Yeah,
that's why you're wearing red.
Exactly. I do remember that. I've been looking forward to this.
So it's really funny because when you do the run and you return the following year, and then after that, so I did like 2 years in a row, and then COVID and stuff, and then coming back and all. I didn't do the run the year that you all came back after COVID because I had the baby or something like that.
That was 22.
Like 21, 22. Yeah, so she was
22.
born in 22. And I remember coming to the photo at the Lincoln Memorial, and I see Steven. I'm like, hey, hugs. And I'm just like, where's your dad? Or he's like, oh, did you see my dad he's over there or whatever? And I'm like, no. And I'm just looking all around. You were literally in my face like, hey, Todd. I'm like, oh, hello. Nice to meet you.
Well, Ted's got a great story about that one right there.
Yeah, so we didn't do the run in 20 and 21 because of COVID restrictions. And in 22, Jenny Ward and Ken Ward and Todd rode out and stayed the night here in Prescott. And so I was expecting them. I had the garage open. I'm waiting, and I'm in a gated community, so I can hear the bikes at the gate. And I'm walking down the street to hit the button so they can come in the gate. And I look and I see, Jenny's on her bike and Ken's on his bike, and I see Todd's bike. I'm like, who's on Todd's bike? And I'm thinking about this as they're coming up the street, and they pull up my driveway into the garage here, and this guy takes his helmet off, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, where's Todd? I didn't compute.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it because I was expecting, big Todd, not half Todd, but it was crazy.
I really wish that would have stuck as a road name.
I know.
Half Todd.
That's what the guys at work call me, is half Todd. So.
Well, did you see what I put on the picture there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the 1/2 T squared. Yeah.
Yep. That's on my hard hat. That's on my hard hat. So
because it's Todd Taylor T squared,
Mm-hmm.
1/2 T squared.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was I swear I thought I was having like some kind of mental breakdown or something because you didn't say anything the whole time we were in COVID and everything, and he just pulled up and pulled his helmet off, and there's half Todd. Crazy.
Oh man, but we really are proud of you, and
yes,
I know like life changes. You were talking about Dave Ramsey, and you're like, what he says, you get sick and tired. And in my mind, I was thinking, live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else.
Exactly.
Right? Because I feel like that also applied in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You had to make a hard decision, so that later you could live like no one else and continue your life and be healthy.
I gotta just take a time out here and give a plug to Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University, because Dave Ramsey inspired Todd to change his life in terms of his weight and his health and everything like that. And I gotta say, if you can see behind me, Dave Ramsey changed my life because about almost 20 years ago, I started doing the Financial Peace University, and my life financially was a mess. That is not the case anymore. Obviously, I've got motorcycles galore and a crazy toy shop here. But yeah, if you're out there and you want to figure out how to live your life like nobody else so that later you can live your life like nobody else, check out Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University.
They have books. They
Awesome
have podcasts.
I taught the class for years.
You taught the class too?
I was a facilitator. Yeah. For years, Kelly and I did that.
On the website, you should be able to find classes near you. They're usually in like churches or something like that.
Yep.
If you're tapped into the military community, they provide that class for free in some areas of the military. I know they had it for free at my last job.
Yep. And we still use the app, the Every Dollar app. I think that's what it's called. But we still, Kelly and I have budget meetings and all right, we're off in the weeds. All right, thanks, Dave Ramsey.
We are.
Hey, like, Dave, you want to come on the totally podcast? You're on.
Yeah, okay. We're looking for sponsors.
No, come on. Rachel Cruz is running the show now, pretty much. But
that's
Rachel
daughter,
can
right?
come on too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm totally lost on where we are on the questions here.
Technically, we're on like number 3, like the why do you ride or who do you ride for? But, he did provide us a bio. So unless he wants to add to that.
I generally ride for some different person every year. Okay. Like last year, Stephen is a real big bowler. He lives at the bowling alley. And one of the ladies that he bowled with, her cousin passed away in Vietnam. Oh, wow. And she bought a T-shirt and she signed it and we carried it across the country for her last year and placed it at the wall for her. And so I don't ride for one single person. I always try to find somebody, a different person every year to ride for. So that's why I do it.
Okay, our next standard question is, how many times have you done the run? What routes have you done? But we've kind of already covered that. You've done the run every year since your FNG year, which was 16 or 17?
16.
And you've done Southern, Sandbox, and Central.
That's correct. Yeah,
when was Stevens' FNG year?
17.
Okay.
17.
So just the year after you.
Right. He didn't go all the way in 17. Him and his mom jumped on the train and rode the train up to DC, and he met us there.
I love that.
Yeah, and we got to ride it, and we got to ride into Arlington that year too. So that was another awesome little thing for him.
That's always like the super special part of being an FNG, and hopefully we're able to maintain that relationship with ANC because that's truly special, and that's coming from someone who grew up in the DC area, and as an adult I lived basically right outside the gates of the cemetery. Like, they don't even let people drive in there.
It is such a special thing to ride our motorcycles into Arlington National Cemetery. What a feeling. I got to do it twice, my FNG year and then Hitch's FNG year, because I was your chauffeur.
Something like that.
Yep. But what an incredible experience that is.
It is.
Yeah.
Very powerful, very moving. All right. So this year, Horton, you are the route coordinator. Tell us all the route
coordinator. Thank you.
Doesn't matter. You're also the state coordinator for West Virginia.
Yeah.
And what other
tell us all the positions.
Well,
So I started out in 17 as a tail gunner for 5th Platoon with an amazing individual, Bob Center. One of my, I call him my mentor. He lives in the Pueblo Springs area of Colorado, somewhere in that area. One of the most genuine people I've ever met. I love that man. His health is failing him now, and he's always there in Pueblo now. He was in a walker, wheelchair last year. His health's failing, but I love that man. His compassion and the caringness of him toward his riders, and the way that's the way I model my leadership values after him. And he gave up the run, due to his health. And then I was a tail gunner in 18 and 19. And then I was a platoon leader for 5. Then I've been a road guard for Central. And then I was an ambassador on the sandbox route, in which I absolutely loved that position.
And you spent one day as the assistant road guard captain.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot about that,
because I got field promoted to road guard captain, and then I field promoted you to the assistant road guard captain.
That's right. I forgot about that. So I've had a myriad of jobs on the run, but road guard is my heart and soul. It's once you start road. Oh, don't roll your eyes like that. It's grief.
I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, but the only bad thing about being a road guard, you were not allowed to have passengers. So right. Stephen had to hop off, and he got to ride with the staging team one year and absolutely loved it. And he also got to ride with Tommy 2 Chains, which was our last man vehicle for a year. Mm-hmm. So he enjoyed those 2 things. But the last year he was back with me when I did the assistant route coordinator, he was back with me, and that's his life. So he'll be with me this year. So I'll be 2 up again this year. So
hey, I love it. All right. How do you prepare physically and emotionally for the run each year?
Physically, it's, everybody always talks about, getting out and exercise and everything. And I never did that, back when Big Todd, and it definitely showed, because my wife always jokes at me every time I got back to the hotel, I would just lay on the bed. Like, you're just so mentally exhausted after every day. And I think people, F&Gs and people who's never done the run, is like, oh, I know, you're just riding a motorcycle for 6-7 hours a day. But the way we ride, it is mentally exhausting. I mean, it's not look at those pretty trees over there, look at the people waving, and as much as you want to show them that you're appreciative of them, it is like I told my people when I was a platoon leader, if you don't know the person's license plate in front of you by the time you're done for that leg, you're riding incorrectly, because you're so focused on maintaining your distance and your speed and everything. But it's exhausting, and I would go back to the hotel room, just lay on the bed and just veg out for about an hour just to, try to move. But, is like they always say, hydration is key, especially those first couple of days when we're up in the desert, the high desert of California. Every year we see people get sick. I mean, it's just anything that you could do to physically prepare. They always, just get out and walk and just get moving, put some miles on your seat. It's because you see every time you hear people groaning and grunting and getting off their bikes because you're stiff, because you've been on the bike for an hour and a half. But it's just that's what we do. So
I love it. And I just want to say, I mean, Big Todd was the tail gunner who, when I had my mishap, was the first person to me.
Yeah, he was the first one on the scene. Yeah.
No. So no picking on Big Todd.
Did you really go like that when you landed on your feet?
Like a gymnast.
Yeah. She was. The only thing I know, we don't like talking about accidents, but the only thing that I was concerned was there was a little road marker right there with a reflector on it, and she was headed right toward it. You don't remember that, do you? And then as she was sliding, as soon as she stopped sliding, she stood up and went.
Well, Todd and I had helmet-to-helmet comm because we were using the Sennas. Mm-hmm. And Todd said, oh, it's Ty. She's down. She's up. I got her. And then I was out of range because I was at the front of the platoon. I was the APL. And you guys pulled off, and I could see dust or something flying back there, and I had to
It's
keep
mud.
going. Yeah,
Listen,
mud.
I was
It was
determined.
mud.
Grass
I was
and mud,
determined to
brake
not
pedals.
hit asphalt or anything else. That was my mission. I was like, I will not hit asphalt or anything else. So,
So,
but it's
but the
really
real
funny
question
because
is,
my
do
daughter
you
does
still have
that
the brake
now.
pedal?
You
I
do?
do.
Okay.
I can. Yeah, they put it on a necklace for me. I kept it.
Okay.
I still have it.
You know what, Hitch? I was looking at pictures because I was trying to find some good pictures of Todd from back in the old days. Old days. It was only like, what, 7, 8, 9 years ago? I found a picture of you. Well, it was of our platoon 5, and you're doing the splits in front of the whole group. Do you remember that?
I have that picture.
Okay. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's funny. I tried to do it one year for the big group photo, but it takes so long. It takes so long to get the photo. And I mean, I can sit in a split for a while, but not like 5-10 minutes. Yeah. But
all right.
Man, okay.
Back to the questions. So what's your favorite stop or experience on the run?
Seeing us. Next question.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's going to dinner the night before, right?
Right. It's a lazy dog.
The lazy dog.
Yeah, that's our pre-run.
That's our tradition. Yeah.
And thank you all for inviting me into the fold.
Yep.
Love it.
Hey. I think just because I live in West Virginia, I'm so partial to Raynell. It's these kids absolutely adore us. They, and like Miss Chapman said, she got married, so I don't know her. I don't know her new name, but she teaches patriotism all year round. It's just not, hey kids, let's get ready for this run for the wall. It's showing up in 2 days. It's every day they incorporate patriotism, respecting veterans. These kids have nothing. I mean, it's just the coal mining town that was there is it's just been destroyed. The mines all shut down. It's just a depressed community. And when we show up, it's almost like they have planned 365 days for us to show up there. And that's my favorite spot of the whole run.
I love it. And I know you say it's like they have nothing and it's like a depressed little town. I have never gotten that impression because I've never been there outside of, Central Route. And I'm like, that community is so rich in patriotism and just appreciation for us showing up. And like, they welcome us with open arms. And for those of you all who don't know, like Raynell is a part of the original like 1989 like run story. So like so they have want to hear, been there.
I'm going to go off on a tangent here. So
go do it. Yeah.
I'm also the West Virginia state coordinator, so it's one of my jobs to go down and secure hotels, for when we show up. And I went to the Holiday Inn Express, and that's in Lewisburg because Raynell is about 20 miles away, so there's no hotels there. So we go to Lewisburg, which is the next biggest city there. And the lady I was talking to, the general manager there, I said, "Hi, my name's Todd. I'm here, to set some rates up for the run." And she got kind of quiet because this was my first year doing this as the state coordinator. And she said, "My daddy was the chief of police in Raynell in 1989 when Gunny and his group come." So I start to talking, and if nobody knows the backstory of how Raynell happened, Gunny and his group tried to get to DC via the West Virginia Turnpike. Well, the Turnpike didn't want them to pay. They have toll booths. So Gunny was just going to go pay, the big lump sum right there at the beginning and to have everybody go through, but they were going to make them stop individual, pay tolls and all this stuff. So he said, "Well, forget this. I'm just going to find another way." And word got out that there was this group of bikers coming through, and the chief of police found out about it, and he met them at when you go down into Raynell, it's you come down a little mountain and it's all twisty road and everything. And they stopped him at the top of the mountain. And Gunny's like, "Whoa, sorry, we're okay." He said, so just in that little short time frame, they organized everybody in that whole community to come out and be on like a parade for them. He goes, this is here for you. We're just letting you know. So that was the lady who general manager of the Lewisburg Holiday Inn Express. That was her daddy. So I called Gunny and said, "Hey, I got somebody you might want to go see." And he went over and visited her and talked to her for a little bit. And this was just a couple of years ago. So
I love that.
That's part of that run for the wall magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. I know we talked a little bit about, food and it being an addiction. And, look, if it tastes good, I will eat it. And now, to only being able to have a few bites of the steak and all that. But in your experience, what has been like the best meal on the run for you?
So it's a combination of two things. So of course it's the wins. Like I mentioned it earlier, it's the steaks at Winsville. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to Raynell, the banana pudding.
Oh my God!
I was gonna say
that's all I have.
So our meal at the Raynell Elementary is a school. It's basically a school lunch.
It's cafeteria lunch. Yeah.
It's cafeteria lunch, and the cooks come in and they cook for us and everything. But the banana pudding and the apple and the apple crisp are to die for at the elementary school.
The last time I did Central, I was sitting right next to the dessert table.
Mm-hmm. And a little insider information: if you ask them for a little bowl, they'll give you a bowl so you can put a lot more of the banana pudding in there, just not on the little tray.
Oh my goodness. We don't need that insider tip. We're trying to be like you. Maybe I'll start running tomorrow or something.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh man.
All right. So we already asked the next question, his road name, how to get it. We know that. So you take the next one.
What do you ride?
I ride a 2007. Is it 17 or 18? I can't remember.
Yours is 18.
Okay, yours is a 17.
Mine's a 17.
Not Boots knowing your bike.
No. Well, what you fail to realize is half of his equipment from his bike's on my bikes. That's how we keep it together. It's a 2018 Electra Glide.
FLHTK.
With just a little bit, with just slight modifications.
And you don't...
What's her name?
Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger.
That's right.
Ginger. The redhead.
That's right. So and my bike's Amber. So we got Amber and Ginger.
Oh, Amber and Ginger. That's cute. No, Todd, you don't ship your bike out. You generally ride to Boots, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all tell us about that.
So my run to the run always goes through Prescott, Arizona, which is where Boots lives. When we usually hang out for a couple of days. Well, last year I had to ship it out. Yeah, because I ran out of vacation at work, so I had to do that. So we flew out. We shipped it to the local Harley dealer where Ted lives, and got a new back tire put on it and everything. So, what are you laughing for?
Because he always talks about tires.
Oh yeah. And so we flew out this year, or I guess it's this year, and spent a couple of days out there hanging out, and then we went on into Ontario on Saturday. So yeah, we generally ride out. We just whatever way we try to get about 500-600 miles the first day, and then wherever the weather hits, we'll either go north or south. So we just take our time and find a bunch of 2-lane roads and just meander out all the way across the country.
I love it. All right, Boots.
All right. Do you have any advice for FNGs?
When you first initially pack your motorcycle, and you get ready to go out there and take half of it off.
Yeah.
My
That's
first
good.
year.
That's really good.
I mean, my first year, I had a Nelson. Let's plug Nelson rig. I had the largest Nelson rig thing on there, and it was funny because when we were riding out, I was giving hand signals to Jenny, as we was coming out, and she couldn't see my hand because the luggage on the back. And come to find out, I think I had like 10 shirts, 4 or 5 pairs of pants. And, it was just, and your bike handles crappy when you got it loaded down so much. So now, I take like 2 t-shirts and a pair of pants and a couple pair of underwear. I mean, I can put all of my clothes in a backpack now because what people fail to realize is we get t-shirts across the run. There's a Walmart at every stop.
Mm-hmm.
If you run out of something there's a Walmart at every stop. So that's my biggest thing is the packing. Because, we've even had people say, man, my bike is not riding right. I'm going to have to take it to the shop and see what's wrong with it.
It's 95%
of the time it's overloaded.
Yeah.
Because, you're on the road for 10 days and people think you got to, you have to pack for 10 days, but
you don't.
It's not like, you don't.
I think my FNG year, I actually did all right, but I would attribute that to the fact that in Junction City, I have friends there and I knew I was staying with them. And that's the halfway point. Like that's day 5, right? And so I was like, okay, I just need enough things to last me until then, and then I'll wash everything and I'll be good to go. What I did overpack was once I was in Ontario and I picked up my bike, I went to like the nearest Target or something and I was like, okay, snacks. Let me buy my snacks.
No.
And I didn't need like any of it because I didn't know about the hydration trailers and the snacks and things that I would be getting. But that's what I overpacked because I refuse to go anywhere without snacks. If you ever get stranded with me somewhere, just be like, I know Ty has food. I know she does.
You do. You always have snacks.
For sure. Any tips for all riders based on your experience?
I want to put this out to the leadership of of our group. Over the course of the last couple of years, we have gotten some pretty, I wouldn't say deflammatory AARs coming in about the attitudes and everything. But I just want to let everybody know that, we are all in this for one mission. I know emotions run extremely, extremely high on this run, and people process things different than other people do. You may be out there talking to your friends, out there, and somebody may overhear it and take offense to it. So I would just caution everybody to put your kid gloves on. That's why. Think about before you go start telling an off-color joke or something like that. How it's hard to do that in the moment, but you really have to think about your like Ted always says, it's the optics of everything.
He does.
He does. I mean, what may seem appropriate to you may be extremely offensive to somebody else. I just caution everybody to, if you see somebody doing something wrong, don't do it in front of everybody. You don't have to go over there and I'm this big guy. I'm going to tell you what to do. You're riding like crap, blah, 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 blah. Pull them to the side and offer them encouragement. Ask them if they're having a bad day, and a lot of the times they're having a bad day, and if you're not in this run mentally, it's a hard run, and your riding will show it. I mean, you'll be going back and forth and weaving and everything. If you are not 100% focused, and one thing I like to give a shout out to is the chaplains. Our chaplain corps is Dwayne and his group of M25, not M25, but Honor Bound. But M25 does the other, but Dwayne is with Honor Bound. Sorry. they watch for this stuff, and they're there for a reason. And it's one of the most important reasons that we have chaplains. I'll never forget my FNG year. It was 2016. We had just taken the group picture, and we were walking over to the the Vietnam Memorial to put the plaque. And it's all like a big mass of people coming down through there, and everybody just stopped. I'm like, well, why is everybody stopping? And there was a guy there who could not physically take another step. The emotions of 10 days on the road, and I don't know his backstory. I don't know why he stopped, but he could physically not put one foot in front of the other to get down there to that wall to finish the mission. And I'll never forget, there was a group of chaplains right there with him. And, and later, and they talked to him, and later on, he made it down there and finished what he set out to do. But just be kind to everybody. That's my biggest thing, especially in the leadership position. Anybody that's wearing a hat, I don't care if you're a stager. I mean, even the stagers, they're the first people you see every morning. Yep. And if you're having a bad day, you may cause somebody else to have a bad day. So just put a happy face on, even though and we all and the people in leadership have bad days as well. But we have been charged with getting these folks from point A to point B for a mission, and that's just everybody just keep a positive outlook on everything. That would be my charge to the seasoned riders.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what are your plans for this next year's run, 2027? Are you going to be a road guard? Are you going to be a stager? Are you a tail gunner again? What are your plans?
I mean, for this coming up run?
Yeah, for 27.
Oh, for 27. If the road guard, if plastic would have me, I'd be a road guard again. But no, I'm going to be the route coordinator this year. It's a humbling experience. A couple times when Jim let me lead the group, one of the things that the RC does is he lets his ARC, practice leading a group of motorcycles across the country. It's an amazing experience to look in your mirror and see headlights as far as you can see, and to know that you are the one responsible for these people. It's the amount of concentration you have to do. It's just not you get on the interstate and go. You have to, we increase speed, very slowly, because we talk about rubber banding and all this stuff. The pack goes from 2 miles to 3 miles long, and everybody's griping and complaining that we're going too fast, we're going too slow. But it's humbling to know that you're the one in charge. So I look forward to it. I cannot wait. I'm already ready to go. But like I said, it's 200 and what'd you say, 70 some odd days.
Yep.
But the bad thing about it is we're going to blink and it's going to be here.
I know.
That's how fast it goes. We've already been 2 months after the run. And where did that time go?
And Angel Fire's in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So let's talk about Angel Fire for a minute.
Yeah.
Tell us what are your plans for Angel Fire?
So this year I've been charged with, basically ringleading our reunion there. I couldn't do it without Catherine Ewing and Scooter and Patty Finley, our New Mexico state coordinator. They're the ones that handle all the in the weeds kind of thing, Scooter, I'm sure Scooter's already there prepping the grounds. He hauls his trailer up there, and he spends 2 or 3 weeks with his end loader helping the guys prep the grounds for us to come in and lay bricks. Patty's already got the food, starting to coordinate the food, getting the menus for the dinners Friday night and Saturday night. Catherine has been doing all the money collecting and everything. I couldn't do it because I'm in West Virginia. They're in New Mexico. I couldn't do it from 2,000 miles away. And if it wasn't for them people, I could not do it. And it's just, so what we do is we have a reunion. Central Route started doing that. I don't know what year it started in, but we go there and we lay bricks at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. and all these bricks have inscriptions on them, past service members, and there's different sections of the memorial that we lay bricks in. There's our run for the wall section. There's sections for medics. There's sections for it's a beautiful place to go. It's in the mountains of New Mexico, and we go there and we spend Saturday, and I will be reading the names of every brick that goes in that thing, and we just have a big line that walk bricks down to the workers, and they put the bricks on the side of the sidewalk. And about 500 bricks later, we're done, and we go have dinner, and it's just a great time of camaraderie and fellowship with people, and even the local communities around Angel Fire and Eagle Nest, they come down and they volunteer and they help. And
we get groups that come up from Albuquerque.
Yeah, and there's the locals will be there in their lawn chairs, just sitting there watching us do our thing. And so that's what's getting ready.
What day are you getting in? On Thursday?
We're flying in. We're flying into Albuquerque on Thursday.
Okay, because we're driving in Thursday too, so we'll be there with you on Thursday night. Great.
Yeah.
Hitch, you're not coming?
I am not.
What if I told you there's a cruise and they're going to be docking right there
at the Eagle Nest Lake Marina?
The Eagle Nest Lake Marina, exactly.
What if I told you the reason I'm not coming is because I'm actually looking at a cruise?
I knew it.
You already knew. Listen, this is the last year before that little girl starts actual school, so I'm trying to fill in.
Well, if you need tips and tricks to get your kid out of school, talk to me. I've told him. Well, that's the bad thing about the run being not the bad thing about it is it's right there at the end of the school year, and I've had some pretty spirited conversation with Stephen's teachers. I told him, I said, you all don't do anything the last couple of weeks anyway. So he's going with me.
We're going to have to talk offline because that's one thing that I'm concerned about,
Yeah. Heaven forbid a kindergartner miss her finals.
And I think Stephen's learned a lot on Run for the Wall. Yeah. He's grown a lot.
You really do.
Last year, he learned how to lasso.
But the ability, especially I think for the younger generation to travel across country and actually have to have face-to-face conversations with people and different people who live in different states and they grow up differently from what I was raised in the city. We go through a lot of small towns, and that is a valuable life experiences because some of these kids can't order their own meal in a restaurant. But back when he was a younger one, they'd be like, "Where's Stephen?" I said, "I have no clue. I have no clue where he's at. Are you not worried about him?" I'm like, "Well, no." And he's always down in the lobby of the hotel. I mean, it's he's down there with my wife calls it his people. Yeah,
his people.
I gotta say, Stephen comes alive during Run for the Wall, and it is so important to him. I even noticed something last year that I hadn't noticed before. I don't know. Well, after the run ended last year, I went back to Todd's house with Stephen, and I could see a noticeable change in Stephen once the run was over, almost like a sort of a wave of almost like depression, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. And a little backstory on him for everybody that don't know him as well. He is on the autism spectrum. He's high functioning autistic. So he processes things different. And, but this right here it's his thing. This is what he lives for. He's always wondering when's the next meeting? What time are we leaving? We got to get down to these meetings and tell everybody I said hi. But he's definitely the run kid.
Yeah,
very important to him, and he's very important to us.
Well, he was the rank kid. Apparently, now he's an adult.
Yep.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is everybody knows him on all the different routes. They're like, "Oh yeah, Stephen." Yep. We have people asking me in Southern and Midway, "Where's Stephen?" I'm like, "Okay."
I was hoping he would have made an appearance on the podcast, but
Ty, you need to text him.
All right, that brings us to Tech Tips with Ted.
Oh, we're already there, huh? Okay. Well, this one is inspired by Waldo. Where's Waldo? Probably somewhere in Colorado right now. Jed Gilman, he sent me some pictures. This year on the run, we got hit with a lot of rain, especially on Central. And even on the way home, I was riding in the rain every day home except for the last day. And I know Jed hit a lot of rain, but he recently took his bike in for service and they took his wheels apart and his wheel bearings, there was water that came out of the center of his wheels and rust. And his wheel bearings were the pictures were crazy. So today's tech tips is pay attention to your wheel bearings. They're super important, almost as important as tires. Not as important, but almost as important. But wheel bearings go unnoticed because you just don't think about them. But they keep your bike rotating smoothly, your wheels rotating smoothly, and they can affect the handling of the bike. If there's any play in there, wobbling, reduced stability, cornering control, uneven tire wear, uneven brake wear, grinding noises, vibrating, vague handling. I mean, these are all symptoms of failing wheel bearings. Even some wheel bearings will whine when they start to get towards the end of their life. They'll make a high-pitched sound. They're in desperate need of replacement. So they're really easy to check. You could take your bike down to the dealership, no matter what you ride, have them check them. Doesn't take that long. I doubt they'd even charge you to take a look at them. Or you can check them yourself, put it up on a stand, rotate the wheel, inspect them, look at them with a flashlight, make sure there's no play side to side, up and down, and the wheels are rotating smoothly. But pay attention to those wheel bearings because you don't want to be stuck by the side of the road on the phone to the roadside assistance. And that's this week's Tech Tips with Ted.
Awesome. I see Horton sliding over. I see a tattooed arm.
There he is. Hey, Striker, how are you?
Well, he can't hear you.
Oh, he
has
can't
to get
hear.
a hit. There you go. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, we can't hear him too much.
Yeah, he just got out. He just got out of the shower.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
He just wanted to stop by and say hi.
Yeah, we're about to wrap the podcast up. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to jump in. Hold on, sit right there. I'm about to wrap it up. That way you can do the end part. I'm not going to put you on the spot. All right. So before we wrap it up, do either of you have anything else to add? Boots or Horton? Awesome. All right. For more information, make sure you all visit us at www.rftw.us. Be social with us if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, or you have a letter and want to share your experiences, or if you have suggestions for us, write to us at pod, that's POD, at rftw.us. And until next time, how far are we going?
All the way.
See, I told you I wouldn't put you on the spot. I had the perfect plug in for you. Bam. Thank you all so much for joining us this episode. Take care.